What you say, Sil? Should we do the thing now? The teams I push are the same ones you bring down. The ponies I praise you wouldn't even sing about. But watch somebody come back from the brink now. Hey, what you say, Sil? Should we do the thing now? Some squads switch up and that's the thing now. You can be anything now, but consistent, I guess that's the only mission for a king now. And who's a king? Who's just a jester? Who reminds me of Devin Hester? Who's playing like they left her, hitting hoes for pleasure, while y'all search yours for treasure to no measure. I find mine with less effort and no sweat work. The best perk is that I'm always right. My opinion shouldn't cause a fight, but they might out at night cause your QB bites. So now it's on sight, I'm just looking down sights, waiting for his flip up. Dog, his shoelaces make him trip up, so you should find the zip up and pull it to where your fucking list was. Check yourself, this ain't get up, it's been up since the last countdown. Working on the fucking craft that they always count out. This is down now, but not out, so what you talking about? Don't get it twisted, I'm pulling switches like a pilot. I'm not flying, I'm just driving. I'm smiling cause life is gravy. Stuff with struggles, but that's what fucking made me. Haters with turkeys, eating wormies. They ain't worthy, they do me dirty. But I'm not Brock Purdy, more like Tom Shirley. I know you heard me, but did you hear me? I said I know you heard me, but did you hear me? My dumb ass. Am I good? Hey, what you say, sir? Should we do the thing now? The teams I push are the same ones you bring down. The ponies I praise you wouldn't even sing about. But watch somebody come back from the brink now. Hey, what you say, sir? Should we do the thing now? So swatch this up and that's the thing now. You can be anything now, but consistent, I guess that's the only mission for a king now. Hey, and who's the king? Who's the king? Who's the king? Put your ring down. Man, I don't care what you think about. Get out my chest, that's the thing about. We back. The kid's alive, everybody. The kid is alive. I don't know where you are in the world right now, but I appreciate you being right here, locked in for the best power rankings in the game. In the game. You can get power rankings anywhere else. You'll never get that power rankings right here. Okay? Right here, right now. That's what we're doing. And my co-host is here. He jumped out. He's going to jump back in. So don't you go anywhere, all right? I'm going to have to let him know that he jumped out because I don't think he knows. But it wouldn't be a regular stream, one of my streams, if we didn't start out with some sort of difficulty. But guess what, guys? We here, all right? It's the Thursday countdown. It's the Power Rankings countdown. Power Rankings countdown? Power Rankings show all in one. We're going to do our Power Rankings, and then we're going to talk about the Thursday night game. And also, we're going to talk about a little situation that happened in the NBA today. Just because I like to talk my talk, and I'm sure that Still's going to want to talk his talk too. Sickness, what is good? And good thing you got those fire emojis there, because in the same time you hit those, we had the co-host get back. What's good, homie? What's good? Where'd you go, bro? I had to take a little breather quick.
Yeah, hold on. I got my little audio issues right now.
Okay. You still got audio issues. That's on me. That's on me.
You
But
good?
hey, I'm good. You there? You hear me?
Yeah, I'm still here.
You hear me now? Can you hear me now? Bro, we gotta obviously the power rankings are back. We can't do a whole week and not do the power rankings. So we here for the power rankings. And thank you everyone for being here, by the way. Daniel Berry Sports, Israel, DC Talk, Sickness. Appreciate y'all for being here. And I know that Lobo is gonna be here, Carlos is gonna be here, Necron being Lobo, if you don't know who that is. Man, what a week it's been for me, for the whole fandom. If you know anything about this fandom, you know we're deeply entrenched to Zack Snyder and everything that he does. And obviously, Rebel Moon premiere week happened. I missed the old red carpet premiere last night because I was sick. But man, what a show it was! If you haven't caught that, make sure you go on Skywalker's channel and peep that out. Skywalker the Jedi. But right now, it's all about football. It's all about sports. As far as the rankings, power rankings, we're doing that last. We're going to start with the bottom 5 and Mount Passmore first. But I also, before we started everything, I wanted to get my homies' thoughts on, and I'll pull up the clip for here real quick. But
Right.
This is a Sports Nation. This is a Sports Nation, right? Still Nation Sports Network. We talk about everything sports that we can that interests us. This is like one of the biggest news right now. If you turn on ESPN this morning, they are running it like every half hour on the hour. Draymond Green suspended indefinitely. There's no limit on that. There's no, hey, we got the, just a 5-game or whatever. What are your thoughts on it? I watched some things this morning and got some other players' thoughts and what they thought of the suspension. But Draymond Green, man, he's kind of like the twilight of his career. And to be getting these suspensions, to be winding up and like clocking dudes, to be choking dudes out, like, what do you think about this whole suspension with Draymond Green? And what are your thoughts on it?
Well, yeah, like you say, this being the Still Nation Sports Network, so we covering all different sports. And just a side note, looking forward to expanding the NBA coverage. We're close to Christmas time. That's usually when the NBA is ramping up. NFL is already past Thanksgiving. I just talked to someone earlier today about even baseball coverage. So I'm just saying we're planning. We're planning a lot.
Need that baseball coverage, dog.
Oh,
got
yeah.
$700 million man over there, dude. Need that.
Yeah. I got some winners that's definitely gonna help with the content. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, as far as with Draymond, it's getting kind of wild, man. Like I think I was watching something earlier, one of the sports channels, and they're just like, man, it's about like player safety at this point, bro. Like this dude stepping on people and choking, like choked homeboy. Like, I mean, in the moment that was funny because like the dude was like 7'4" and he was like choking him. It's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like when he just cold cocks dude, it's like, okay, come on, bro. Like we're getting out of control now.
For people who don't know what we're talking about, this is exactly what happened. Let me play this for you. I'm playing it without the sound so we don't get taken out. But Draymond Green just did it. Boom. If you look at the top of your screen, 20 is going out. And I'll play it back because it's probably too quick. You didn't even see it.
Yeah,
right there. He's right here at the top of your screen. And boom.
Let's see when he drops.
Oh, yep. He's down.
But it's just, bro, and even Draymond, he admitted after the fact that, hey, I was just trying to sell a call. But
I think that was a bad explanation, in my opinion.
Right. You could tell he was trying to swing and hit him. Like, you could tell. So it's just like, bro, yeah, you was trying to sell a call while smacking them at the same time. That boom right there. That's crazy.
Oh, dude.
And he tried to put his hands up like, oh,
what,
I remember Ron Artest, I'm a Lakers fan, so I remember when Ron Artest did something similar
to James.
When he elbowed James Harden back in the day.
Yep.
It's like Artest basically, he was acting like he was swinging his arms, and he like saw Harden's head. Yeah. He's like elbowed him. There it is. And he kept trying to act like he was just, swinging his arms. Like, bro, it's like, come on, man.
You know you did. You know you
Yeah.
did, but this is bad. I mean, this is bad. To say that you were trying to sell a call, I mean, he has his hand on the back right of your jersey, and when your left arm, you do a cyclone punch and some shit I've never seen in my life before in a basketball game. Like, this happens on the street ball courts, you know what I'm saying? Like, with someone who's highly uncoordinated and just gets pissed off because they keep getting beat. Like, this is boom. Like, oh, I didn't mean to. Like, dude, come on. But
Yeah.
this is a bad look for the Warriors in general, not to mention Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, it's one thing to say, "Oh, you felt like he was holding you." Most of the time, if someone's holding you, you just smack the arm away. You know,
Yeah,
it
right.
happens all the time. Like
Oh,
and yeah, dude's arm was like on his side. It's like, okay, just smack his arm. Like that would have showed the ref right there. Hey, dude's holding me.
yeah, right.
You can do this now. So that's one thing right there. But Charles Barkley is probably the greatest entertainer in sports right now. Media.
Yeah, he is.
Barkley said he's seeing traces of like with Draymond's career, because you kind of hit on it earlier, Austin, where you said he's kind of on the back half of his career. So Barkley said he started doing like dumb stuff like this when he knew he couldn't play, he couldn't keep up anymore. He was like, then because I remember when he was fighting Shaquille O'Neal back in the day. Barkley that clip is a very famous clip where he throws the ball at Shaq's head.
Yep.
When Shaq was on the Lakers, and Barkley was with the Rockets, and Shaq just body slammed him, and they were just like fighting. Boom. And it's funny they work together now. It's the funniest thing that they end up working together. Yeah. But it's like Barkley, sometimes you gotta look at these old players and they'll tell you like the psychosis of it. It's like, oh, Draymond knows he's a step slow, probably 2 steps slower than most players now at his position. Yeah. So you got, you start doing these dirty things. Chris Paul does dirty stuff too because he can't keep up anymore. Yep. And but that's one thing. But when you're doing dirty stuff like this, and like what if you like punch dude in the eye? Like what if you like put his eye out or something? Like what I mean? It's just like seriously, you could do something really to injure somebody.
Especially the way that he did it too. Like he could have hit him, but he didn't hit him with like a good fist. It was kind of like this.
It wasn't a close fist, but I mean he followed through. And
yeah, right.
And when you're not expecting it, it's like, bro, it's like, oh man, anything could happen right there. So it's about player safety, bro. And Draymond, I mean, if you're slowing down, bro, it's like you think about retiring. Like seriously.
Yeah, instead of doing stupid shit like this, like especially like to have these kind of like I don't know, like these outs, these bursts, like no one wants to see this in the game. We want to see feistiness, and we do want to like every once in a while give us a scrum, but like to just turn around and cyclone punch a guy in the face,
that's dirty.
Come on, that's just bad play. This is the other one that happened, but I wanted to back this up real quick. Like Draymond Green's completely out of the fucking view here. And he just runs up on Rudy Gobert. It's like, oh, let me get that guy. Oh yeah, let's just choked him out, choking him out.
He was waiting to choke him,
choking him out, bro. Oh, come on, I can't believe that happened, dude. And like, how you gonna do that?
At this point, like you said, I'm blaming the Warriors organization now. Like, it's getting to the point you enabled this guy his entire career. You saw when he sucker punched his teammate last year, Jordan Poole, in practice. He sucker punched his teammate, and the team continues to enable him. So yes, he has a problem, but now it is the Warriors' problem now. That's why he's suspended indefinitely. And I'm just saying, like, I'm just honestly, I know it's easy for us to sit here on the sidelines, but he really should consider retiring. Like seriously.
Please, honestly. And it's okay if you want to do that, dude. Big Three still a league, man. You can go play the Big Three. Like, this is not a good look for the game of basketball to be doing this type of things. And like this happened this year, like this moment. I thought that was Drake, by the way, going in there and then getting him out. I was like, yo, is that Drake on the floor, bowling the cornrows? Yeah, man. What a moment for NBA. Like, this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about Zion Williamson or any of the young players doing anything, because no one wants to talk about how big that man is. But like we got some things to clean up in the NBA, and that's why the NFL is still the best league in all of sports, man. You know what I'm saying? So enough with the Draymond Green stuff. He is a strong guy. Yeah, he could have really effed that guy up, though.
Yeah.
WWE bound Necron says, I love that.
I mean, it's totally different, Austin, if they just were squaring up. It's like, hey, we're going to fight. Then it's like, okay, you know, but to just get sucker punched, like, or sucker slapped. It's
sucker
like,
slapped. Yeah, cyclone. Sucker cyclone.
I know.
That.
No one can respect that.
And it's just disrespectful to the game too, you know, and like kids watching you, like the biggest team in the league right now, Golden State Warriors. I mean, still with the big three there, it's still like the highest, probably the highest paid tickets in the league, I would imagine. So yeah, just not a good look, but we had to touch on it, man. Indefinite suspension for Draymond Green. A lot of people are saying it's a good thing. They're also saying Andre Iguodala, who's the former, you know, teammate of Draymond, he's actually the interim executive of the Players Association right now. They are, early reports are they're not gonna appeal the suspension right away. Eventually I imagine they will, if it comes, we get to 5 games without him playing, and they still haven't announced like a deadline. But really, this is like a first time this is happening where it's indefinite, because they've done this before, man. They've given him 4 games, 5 games, and nothing's changed. So like they have to see some kind of benchmark, as people were saying, to get, have you changed? Are you going to be better? Are you not going to do this stuff? And a lot of people say off the court, Draymond Green's a good guy, like a caring dude. So to see this stuff happen on the court, it's like, come on, bro.
That's what's letting you know he's lost a couple steps, because you know, to maintain that edge, you know, that's why it's like I lean on the greats when they, you know, that's played it, and when they're saying, hey, I know what that looks like because I did it, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense that he doesn't have it.
Doesn't have it. And then I mean, that's what happens when you get older. But let's get into the power rankings. As I said, NFL is still the best league. And it goes to show you all the time. Let's start out though with the power rankings of the Passmore, the NFL Week 15 Passmore list for me. Now, a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, Josh Allen's up there again," but this list really hasn't changed since I started it. Really, it's been either Josh Allen or CJ Stroud, but obviously CJ Stroud having an injury, having a really bad game, he kind of fell down in a lot of the marks for this list. Brock Purdy, he's still leading pretty much everything. I had to put him in more categories. Like now he's third in yards. He's third in yards per game, as well as top of leading the QBR, the quarterback rating, and the completion percentage. So Brock Purdy still having a standout season, but I still don't think he's been as consistent as Dak Prescott, who is first in touchdowns now. He leaped over Josh Allen. He's second in QBR. He's second in quarterback rating, and he is third in completion percentage, among other ranks that he has. But those are his best right now. So I think if you compare those 1-to-1, I mean, yeah, like Brock Purdy, you're playing the best quarterback play. However, what wins the most games? Your team scoring touchdowns. Who's got the most touchdowns here? Dak Prescott. And he's right behind Brock Purdy on all of the lists that that Brock Purdy is leading. So I think I'd still give Dak Prescott the edge in quarterback play. Josh Allen, I mean, he is a phenomenal player. I can't go without saying that. I may not like his personality all the time. I may dog on him for being, you know, a super fan like me of Tom Brady. But he is a phenomenal player. It sucks that he's had to deal with what he's had to deal with some of the divas that they've brought in there, and some of the coaching snafus that they've had, because when they put the team on his back, it's literally like make or break. Either he's going to definitely win you the game. I think you said this last weekend where he's got like Brett Favre tendencies in a way. But I think he's even better than Brett Favre. I think he has a better arm. He's better running. He's bigger than Brett Favre was. So I think he can do better than Brett Favre did.
Physical talent. Yeah.
Physical talent. Yeah. Facts. I want him to see him do good, man, because I listen to him talk and I feel so bad because he's got to be so exhausted with all the BS. Like he just wants to play quarterback and he's got to deal with like Stephon Diggs not getting enough receptions. Like that was the one thing that I loved about the Patriots team and the Patriots dynasty, it's like if someone's not getting receptions, you ain't gonna hear nobody bitch. Like I promise you that. Randy Moss, a couple games, didn't get touches. He ain't never complained about that. So I feel bad for Josh Allen, but he's up there, second in TD, third in QBR, sixth in completion percentage, and seventh in yards. I put those two just because he's in the top 10. Not only is he second in TDs and third in QBR, but he's in the top 10 for all the other categories that matter. And then Tua down there, he's first in yards per game, second in completion percentage, fourth in touchdowns. And then the quarterback rating, it's Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, Tua. And you see it down there too. So that's the 4. You see it down there too, though. When I say the quarterback rating and all that, Jake Browning is up in these lists, okay? But I can't consider him because this is through week 15. He's only played 5 games so far. But, man, he's playing up to snuff. And you said this last week when I brought this up, and I brought Jake Browning up on the list. It's like they should have done this earlier. They should have not started with Joe Burrow and put him in a position to get hurt even worse. Because not saying that a knee and your calf is connected to your wrist or anything, but when you have to overcompensate, certain things stress out certain things, and who knows what he had to deal with all offseason long, and then just having a dead wrist. Jake Browning, though, 110. His quarterback rating got better, by the way, from last week. It went up 3 point whatever percent for the QBR rating. He's second in that technically. And then he's first in completion percentage, which also went up. It went up from 70%. So this dude is just getting better as he keeps playing. I don't know how it's like I said, these numbers are going to go down, but they just kept going up. I don't know how it's possible. But the quarterback rating for Brock Purdy also got better last week. So he jumped Jake Browning in the stands, but standings. I just wanted to bring that up though, because there's a lot of mediocre quarterbacks going around the league right now. I mean, the NFC and the AFC players of the week were Tommy DeVito and Zach Wilson. I mean, those are the quarterbacks that we're dealing with. But Jake Browning having himself a career right now as a backup, and I just wanted to give it some applause because it definitely deserves an honorable mention. But how do you feel about this list right now? And do you have any qualms about it?
Well, the main thing I'm going to say, you kind of try to beat me to it by saying it before I get to say it. But Josh Allen, bro, those turnovers, bro.
I know.
Sorry. I can't. I know CJ Stroud's in concussion protocol, so he may not give it a go this next week, which is unfortunate because they still have a shot at the playoffs. But I can't erase CJ Stroud's year just so quickly. Though he is behind him with touchdowns. His QBR is, I think, a little behind Josh Allen as well. But again, the less turnovers, and CJ Stroud, I believe, has more yards than Josh Allen as well. So I got to keep him in my top 4. Of course, I'm not going to argue with Dak, Tua, or Purdy this season. They're playing great. Jake Browning, like you said, he's only played a handful of games. I'm starting to think like Coach Zach Taylor for the Bengals. He's an offensive guy. He's a play caller as well. I'm starting to like this guy. You swap out Burrow. You got Browning. Like the offense is looking kind of the same.
So good.
Gotta give the coaching some credit. I mean, they made the Super Bowl a couple years ago. They made it to the AFC Championships after that. So I'm just saying, I'm keeping an eye on that situation. I mean, obviously, you want Joe Burrow, before most quarterbacks. Some people argue him over Mahomes at times because of just Mahomes kind of could sling it sometimes, and Burrow's more, could be a little more accurate. That's all accurate. But obviously, this is Mahomes' era. We understand that. But I'm going to give some credit to the Bengals coaching staffs, particularly head coach and play caller Zach Taylor for what Jake Browning is doing. So, but yeah, no, I can't have Josh Allen in the top 4, bro. With those turnovers, bro. Can't do it.
I feel you. But for me, and I guess I should say this too. If your team has won, I'll put you up here too. But Texans took a nice little loss. the other weekend, and
So
I wasn't expecting that one, man. But I know I'm not counting against CJ Stroud, but it's just like your team won. I'm putting you in the top 4 for that week. And also Josh Allen he's second in TDs. He's 30 QBR. CJ Stroud ain't up there. He's not even close in TDs or QBR as far as that goes. And that's like, what I'm basing this list off. He is up there in quarterback rating, but I think he's only like 5th or so. But still, rookie. He's a rookie. Making it on my Mount Passmore list is still big time. But nah, he'll probably be back. Hopefully, I would say though, don't push it for him. He's only a rookie. Like, if you don't feel good, don't push it. In concussion
so he has
protocol.
to go undefeated to stay on your list. That's what I'm saying.
Just gotta remain consistent, bro. He didn't play a whole game. He didn't play a whole game. Bad numbers, dude. Bad numbers. It's not any hate. It's just Mount Passmore list. We go off of stats. But enough of my list. Let's look at your bottom 5 and see what is going on with the MVPs. Brock Purdy's in the MVP race. Look out, Israel. But tell me about the bottom 5 right now and Escape from Dishonor. Your team.
Yeah, Escape. We'll start with the Escape. So, I mean, my baby Bears, I think they've grown up. 5-8, technically still in a playoff race. Like, what are we doing here? Why are they doing this? Because in their back pocket, they have the Carolina Panthers pick. So they can go out there. The coaches can save their jobs and everything. People can save their positions because they know they got that pick in their back pocket. So, they're playing with house money right now, right? And they beating division rivals. Fields may have, who knows if they keep Justin Fields, right? So they escape. Gotta give love as well to the Jets. Zach Wilson, they convinced him to go back out there on the field. He was like, "No, I ain't going out there, bro. I ain't going." It's like, dude, we got you. And the defense, played amazing. As they've been playing amazing all year. It's all about the quarterback and the offensive line and everything. And Jets played great. So the fact, and when people escape dishonor, the reason why I do this because it's showing they're trying. They're actually trying to win. Bottom 5 is about you suck. You're really not trying. And I'll explain as we go here. So number 32 has been securely the Panthers all year. Right? Yep. 1 win, which I don't know how they got that 1 win.
13 to 12 victory.
Just stay on code, Panthers. Y'all doing great. That pick's coming to us, right? So the next team up, the Commanders. I mean, they gave up when they traded the 2 all-pro defensive edge rushers off of their team.
I know.
Commanders gave up, right?
They won two straight weeks after that somehow, though, too. Yeah. So how did that even happen? Ron Rivera's out, right?
Then they realized, like, okay, we're really not that good anymore. Plummet. Now, the Raiders, it kind of hurt me to put the Raiders in this bottom 5. Not because they're not trying, but it's because if you're going to keep starting Aiden O'Connell, you're not trying to win. Okay. He's not a quarterback. Like, I can't take them serious. I mean, I know that the rest of the team plays hard, but I can't believe you're taking this seriously. They know they have a coach in there, and hopefully they retain him or he's a part of the staff, Antonio Pierce. Because they're showing up to play. You don't have a quarterback, so you're not trying to win if you tried that guy out there. My goodness. That was just a terrible. Was it? They lost 3-0. We'll talk about the Vikings. Well, we know the Vikings, they switched quarterbacks, but Raiders, y'all not seriously, right? Patriots, though they've been in the bottom 5, they showed up for the old ball coach this past week.
Shout out.
A even worse quarterback. Now, it's conflicting reports. Now, a month ago, they were saying, hey, Belichick is not guaranteed he's coming back. Everyone thought that was blasphemy. That's what the rumors were saying. Then they show up and they show up to play against the Steelers. Everyone's like, well, they showed up for Belichick, right? Well, it could be they showed up for like the offensive coordinator, Bill O'Brien, and other people on the staff. Just according to, again, just the chatter they're talking about. Yeah, they showed up to play for the coach, but which coach? I don't think they showed up for Belichick. It's a really funny video. I'm going to have to find a clip of this overnight or something to show you. where Zappy was all happy going into the locker room, hugging Bill O'Brien. That's the offensive coordinator of the Patriots, right? And it was like all nothing but joy. And then Belichick is like over here, and Zappy, like all his joy leaves his face, and he just gives Belichick a handshake. It is the funniest clip I ever saw, and it shows that dynamic. So very interesting. Keep an eye on that. Belichick, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. They're in the bottom 5 because of that. Chargers, hey, homeboy's out. I forgot his name that quick. That's how I know the Chargers is in trouble.
Herbert or the coach?
Herbert's out for the year. He broke a finger on his throwing hand. So yeah, I know it's over for y'all, but I this could come back to bite me. Maybe this is a whole nother thing, just like with Jake Browning. The backup fits in the system. We'll see. We'll see what happens when they actually play. Right now, they're in the bottom 5 because they lost their quarterback.
And they bad right now. I mean, the coach has just been terrible all season. They've been in games, but they've lost games that they shouldn't have lost. I mean, man, Chargers, you've looked good at some points, and other points is like, what team is this out here? But not having Justin Herbert out there definitely is going to be a different dynamic, and it'll be interesting to see what they can do. If it's going to be like a Matt LaFleur situation when you have Jordan Love, or if it's going to be like I can't think of the coach's name for the Bengals, but Zach Taylor situation with Jake Browning coming in. Yeah, it might go to show you, hey, we got a good coach here. It was just a player, but we'll see.
I have a feeling it won't show because I know their coach is bad.
The Chargers, exactly. So your MVP candidates haven't really changed, except Brock Purdy's in there now. You finally gave in to the national storyline of Brock Purdy being the surefire MVP, huh?
Well, it's like, who else is left, right? You gotta look at it. It's like it gets to the point. I mean, Dak is the clear front runner to me. That's why he's up there at the top.
Yeah.
So I've spoken too many positive things about a Cowboy. I don't want to keep saying this about Dak. he is a front runner for a reason. Tyreek Hill, he's up there, still up there because they just lost. Yeah, he got nicked up a little bit. When he went out of that game against the Titans, the Dolphins and Titans game, it showed how valuable Tyreek Hill was. Like the team, like the offense fell apart because Tyreek Hill wasn't in the game. So he gets another vote for me as MVP because he's that important for that team. But I do foresee if he doesn't break 2,000 yards, he has to break some kind of record or something to stay in this top 3. But right now he's up there because that loss actually showed why he's that valuable, right?
All right.
Brock Purdy, I mean, you look at the numbers, Dak Prescott's numbers, his wins, Brock Purdy's right there. And they trounced the Cowboys head-to-head as well. So it's like, Mahomes ain't going to win it. Josh Allen has too many turnovers and losses. Joe Burrow's out for the year. Lamar doesn't have the numbers. It's like, who up? Brock Purdy. I can't. Tua, him losing Tyreek Hill in that game, most of that game, Tua went down. It's like I really can't consider you an MVP because you're supposed to carry the team when Tyreek Hill's out, right? So Purdy's on there because there's really no one else is left. And Brock Purdy could mess around and win this thing if that takes another loss or two. So keep an eye on that. But that's my current top 3. And I think Dak and Brock Purdy those will be the mainstays, I'm pretty sure, going forward.
I agree with you, man. And actually, before we move on, we can actually look at their remaining schedules to see, because I think we forecasted the Cowboys were going to take a loss, either against the Bills or the Dolphins. So that could be the point of contention where we look at the 49ers schedule, and we only really see them taking a loss against maybe the Ravens, but
possibly the Ravens.
But then the Rams, I don't know. The Rams did give the Ravens a run for their money, but what are they going to look like week 18? So I actually think that, if you're comparing this schedule to what the Cowboys have, I think Purdy has a better chance of like having those numbers as far as MVP goes, and he can steal it away from Dak. Although I'd like to see Dak get the MVP just because this is his best year. He's played for so long. He kind of deserves it, in my opinion. And Cowboys Nation can shut the hell up about him. But anyways, but no, I feel you there. And I mean, you're right. Who is left? It's Brock, it's Tyreek, it's Dak. Those are the 3 best players right now in the league, and the resume shows it. So let's get into the power rankings. Let me throw this music back on here real quick, and let's take a look at what everyone's been waiting for, dude. Did I Sparta kick your team out of the list, or did they hang on to dear life? I don't know, dude. I might have Sparta kicked the shit out of your team. I definitely Sparta kicked the Lions. I could not wait to do that, taking a freaking loss against the Bears. But we got this right here, and I don't know why it's a little wonky for some reason. It wasn't when I did this originally. I'm gonna go redo it. Take it away. You got the 49. You got 4 remain the same, and then somehow the Browns just slam dunked their way into the top 5, dude. Tell me, is it the Joe Flacco effect did that?
He knows about Flacco, right? So, like you said, 4 mainstays, top 4. That Cowboys-Eagles game, it didn't prove anything to me that I didn't know before that game. I already had the Cowboys over the Eagles, but I thought the Ravens was a better team overall and the 49ers was a better team overall. So nothing changed at all. And if I already knew the Eagles was probably not top 3, but definitely not worse than these other teams, them losing to a team I had ranked higher than them does not push them down to me. So that's why the top 4 stays the same right there. And so it's all about everybody fighting beneath number 4. The Browns jump up there because, again, their defense has been top 3 all year. You got Defensive Player of the Year candidate Myles Garrett, and that unit is amazing. You got a running game. You got some receivers. It was all about the quarterback. And they've been winning in spite of the quarterback situation all year. Then, Deshaun Watson he finally gets healthy. Then he gets hurt again. He's out. DTR had a short-lived 15 seconds of his career. And you get Joe Flacco. They're right there. The Browns are literally right there with the AFC race. It's just as far as like making the playoffs and making some noise. So that's why they're in the top 5. I dropped the Dolphins, not simply just because they lost, though they did lose, but I dropped them a little bit because they were exposed with 2 relying on Tyreek Hill. And, are you ready for the big dogs, Dolphins? Because you got this Cowboys game coming up. You got other matchups coming up where, you're not really quite top 5. And then, all they got to do is, game plan Tyreek, or try to slow him down. Will Tua really show up? I could say like, oh man, they're blowing out these small teams, but you just lost to the Titans as well. So it's like they're right there, not quite top 5, right? Lions, they've just been slowly digressing all year. Like they're solid. Again, not ready for the big boys. The Bengals is jumping up. Jake Browning, that's why we give him a lot of love. Again, in the playoff race, and they still have a complete team. Your backup is playing like a top 10 quarterback right now. That's insane, right? So they're right. And great coaching. That's for coaching as well. Zach Taylor. That's for the haters, whoever was hating. Chiefs. Chiefs slowly and surely about to fall in the top 10. Slowly but surely. They're playing ugly even when they win. Then when they lose ugly. It's just this team, great defense. That's the reason why they're still in the top 10, because their defense makes them formidable any game. And you still have Patrick Mahomes, but nobody can catch the ball or line up properly, right? So Chiefs, one more slip up, or if another team gets hot that's under you or on the bubble, Chiefs going to be out of the top 10 probably in the next week or 2. The Rams. How in the world are the Rams in the top 10 and they just lost?
That's what I want to know.
Because they showed that they can hang when Dad's home. Matthew Stafford, the Rams can hang with any team. I think they gave the Ravens everything they could ask for, and I think the Rams are going to actually upset a few teams, may run the table the rest of their way for the rest of the season. So this is more like predicting the future, saying, the Rams going to be right there, because I think they're going to win out on their schedule. We'll probably talk about that another time. So that is the top 10. I'll just touch on the bubble squad real quick, because I know you probably want to do the Sparta kick later on that. But bubble squad, why aren't the Bills in the top 10? They just beat the Chiefs. They shouldn't have beat the Chiefs. As bad as the Chiefs was playing, the Chiefs should have won with a fluky play. So both teams should really be off the top 10 because it came down to that fluky lineup play.
Yeah,
Music City Miracle type thing. Both you suck. Both you teams suck. Chiefs and Bills, right? So you round the bubble, Bills, because I don't trust you. Broncos on the bubble because we're loving what the Broncos have been doing. They took a loss recently here, but they're still right there. Another big win by the Broncos could get them back in the top 10. Though I think they're going to kind of stay right here on the fringes the rest of the way to go. Let's see. Did I put the Buccaneers? I don't remember putting the Buccaneers.
That was me, I think. I don't know why.
Okay. I'm about to say.
That was me. I meant to do that. I meant to fix that. My bad. I tried to fix the graphic too, but for some reason it keeps saving that the Cowboys are all the way in. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Cowboys and Dolphins. You get highlighted for some reason.
That's my bubble squad.
My bubble squad was the Buccaneers. They won 2 in a row. They're on the NFC South leaderboard, and they've won every single game since Baker Mayfield was recorded. I say recorded, but interviewed at the end of the game in the locker room. He's like, "Yeah, it's not going to change until everyone gets pissed. Until everyone gets pissed in this team, no, nothing's going to change." And I guess I'll have to drag him there to the playoffs if I have to. Since he said that, the Buccaneers have not lost. And albeit maybe they've played in some very close games that shouldn't have been close, it's been nice. And for some reason I can't see the comments right now, so that's unfortunate. But we'll get that fixed. I might have to pop in and pop out for whatever reason. But yes, that's my bubble team, the Buccaneers. Now we got the Cowboys at the top. Okay? Cowboys are at the top. It's because they still are scoring more points than the 49ers. And they've been doing it more consistently. Ever since they took that pretty bad loss against them earlier this season, they've rebounded. They took a loss against them, against the Eagles, and I don't think they've lost since. Necron will have to refresh me on that if that's the case, but I don't think they've lost since. And then I have the 49ers right there underneath them. They haven't changed because, yes, obviously, they're playing some of the greatest football you can watch. I think the reason why they look so good, though, is also because of the mediocrity in the rest of the NFL. But I digress. When they played against the Eagles, they did whoop them. I will say that. So I'm very much looking forward to if we see them play against the Cowboys in the playoffs. That'll be a lot of fun to watch. And then I have the Ravens there because I Sparta kicked them last week, on the joke because they were on a bye week. But they're back at number 3, back in their winning ways. You know what I'm saying? The Ravens, they're any AFC team has got to be terrified to play that Ravens team. I mean, they're pretty much going to have the AFC locked up. They'll have home seed throughout the playoffs. So you got to go into Baltimore to win and go to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a tough fought game against the Ravens. But I will say this: sometimes you can get Lamar Jackson into an area where he's got to throw to win the ball game. And I will say, I have new comments. Oh, they're back. Thank you, everyone, for continuing to fucking comment. Came back on the screen. The Niners spanked both the Eagles and the Cowboys. Yeah, but they spanked the Cowboys way earlier in the season. That doesn't count anymore, bro. That does not count. It's the 90s all over again.
On this list, it don't count.
It don't count on my list, bro.
It counts on mine.
Don't count on my list, bro. If we were still counting what we did back in week 5, dude, the Buccaneers would still be on this list. I mean, come on. But we have the Ravens there at number 3, bursting the bubble, quote unquote. And Dolphins actually falling down because last week without the Ravens being there, I had them up. But it's hilarious. Me and Sil both got the Browns at number 5, dude. You told me, like, yo, I can't believe you picked against Joe Flacco. I couldn't believe I did either, man. He came back and fucking won the shit out of that game.
You
dude.
should feel ashamed for doubting Joe Flacco.
I feel bad. Any other point in my NFL fan career doubting Joe Flacco, I would have been right. But that Sunday, definitely not right for me to do that. And I got the Browns coming back. As long as they got that defense there, they're a top 5 team, man. You got top 3 defense. As long as you got somebody on the other side to manage the game for you and get the ball into the playmakers' hands. I mean, everyone's talking about Njoku like he's a new guy. It's like, no, he's been a really fucking good tight end for a really long time. You just got to give him the ball. And that's all that Joe Flacco was seeing. But I think if he spreads the ball around a little bit more, Amari Cooper, get Kareem Hunt involved a little bit more. I forget the other guy's name who's on that team, the running back.
Jerome Ford.
That's the success, the key to success for them. And the Browns have a chance at, maybe making the Ravens life a little bit of trouble in the playoffs. I mean, that's a division opponent right there. And I don't know if they play him again coming out the season. I'll have to take a quick look. I haven't done the Ravens projections because we haven't needed to, because they're firmly into the playoffs. But it'll be interesting to see if they play each other again coming down the stretch. But not even that. If the Browns make the playoffs and they play each other in the playoffs, that can't be a surefire win for the Ravens, just because the Browns is the Browns, man, and that's a division matchup. But then I have the Eagles falling to number 6 because 2 bad losses to me, not just losses, 2 bad losses. I really want to kick them out, but they're just so good. They're still 5th in the NFC. They might be the team that the Buccaneers play in the playoffs. If the Buccaneers make the playoffs and go on to win the division, if they're at number 5, the Eagles will be coming in to Tampa Bay to play the Buccaneers. And I'm not going to be like, yo, Eagles surefire win. I mean, you've gotten doused by the 49ers and by the Cowboys, 2 teams that you're supposed to have a game against, if not win against. I was surprised when the 49ers were favored against the Eagles, but now I'm not. Now I get it. Like, Vegas saw something I didn't. And the Eagles, man, they got to get it together. They have all the capabilities of being a Super Bowl squad. We know that. They've shown that all season. It's just like in those tough games, you got to figure it out. You can't be shooting yourself in the foot, having false starts, like making penalties and stuff. Like, the Eagles got to do better, and they got to get it cleaned up. Now is not the time to be having these losses. I said it earlier in the season. This is a good loss to learn from. Now, these are losses you should be worried about, because you shouldn't be losing like this at this point in the season if you're the Eagles team. As for the Broncos, they're on the bubble for Syl. For me, they're all the way in, man. Sean Payton, Super Bowl winning head coach, Super Bowl winning quarterback, and not Russell Wilson. You have Courtland Sutton playing like a true wide receiver 1. They have a running game that's kind of like creeping up the ways of Shane Perrine, I believe his name is. They have the defense. That's all that matters. They have like the most turnovers in the NFL since like week 4 or something like that, week 6. That's where it matters most. If you're going to be a playoff contender, your defense. And you have a Super Bowl winning quarterback who's been playing like a Super Bowl winning quarterback this year. So Broncos, you firmly earned your spot for me at number 7. The Bills, they burst the bubble for me. Like I said, they've gotten some quality wins, and I think they're a playoff team. No matter what you say, they have what I want to say about Josh Allen. They have the ability to win tough games, especially against teams that you might have not thought they would against. Albeit the game against the Chiefs, maybe that was a bad Chiefs team and whatever, but still, you went in on the road in a tough environment and you won the game. I'm going to give you credit for that. And you didn't lose the game. That's for sure. You didn't lose yourselves a game. You didn't have any stupid, turnovers or anything like that. You didn't flip out on a side judge or anything like that for the Bills. So I'm giving you number 8. And since you beat the Chiefs last week, I'm putting the Chiefs underneath you. Chiefs, you're getting kicked off the board really soon. Sparta kicked right off the board real soon if you take another loss. I mean, we talked about on Tuesday some of the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen on a field happen with Patrick Mahomes. I get everything up until a certain point. You want to have your whole team holding you back like you're about to throw hands against a side judge like a toddler. All right, that's cool. But that's where it should end. When you go up and you go to shake hands with your opponent and you're still bitching about a call, man, and then you go to the press conference afterwards and you're still bitching about a call. As the face of the league, as a $500 million man, as someone who's supposed to carry this league, I hated to see it, and I don't respect it, and I respect Patrick Mahomes a little bit less, and I respect Travis Kelce even way more or less, bro. Just because
Kelce.
Why? Because why? Because the only reason why he got that mad was because it was on a play that Travis Kelce had like a crazy play, and one of the things he mentions, I hate that for Travis. You know, it looks bad. It's like, why are you mad about Travis Kelce, dude?
So you respect Kelce less
even
because
less.
Mahomes said it.
Yep, that's your boy, dude. That's your boy, bro. You letting your boy do that shit? Come on, dude.
Oh man,
Taylor Swift's
that's hilarious, bro.
Give me a reason to hate Travis Kelce. I'll find one, dog. And then the Jags actually burst in the bubble for me, dude. Jaguars actually burst the bubble, get onto the top 10 because even though, albeit they are struggling, they're still at the top of their division, and they're playing like they are. Trevor Lawrence, he might lose you the game or he might win you the game, but in a close loss to the Browns, it was still a close loss. You know, we got the Browns at number 5, so we're giving them hella respect. I got to give the Jaguars respect, even though they did take an L in that game. It was close and it was on the road. So shout out to the Jags. Hopefully Trevor Lawrence can get that look of bewilderment off his freaking face, dude, so we can get him into the playoffs. But I don't know. It might be some more bewilderment that we see. Man, those 49ers lost 3 in a row. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. They lost 3 in a row. Cowboys didn't lose 3 in a row this season. And that's my argument against Brock Purdy getting the MVP too, because without your players on the team, without Debo, without Trent Williams, George Kittle was hurt. Where were you? You weren't anything. You guys lost 3 games in a row. That's my, and I know Israel's gonna be pissed about that comment, but that's my defense against giving Brock Purdy the MVP is that Dak Prescott, he's been playing more consistent all year, and even with people going out, with Tony Pollard not playing great, the Cowboys have still been winning games, and you got to respect that. So with that being said, we got the bubble squad. I got to get this Sparta kick lined up here, but give me the reason why you Sparta kick the Texans, the Colts, and the Packers right out of this list, bro.
All right, so all 3 teams lost. That's not just it. It's because Texans, they lost their 2 top receivers, 2 guys that none of us knew about 2 months ago, Tank Dell and Nico Collins. CJ Stroud hits his head, concussion protocol, and like I said, and they lost as well. So this team is falling apart. They're falling apart right now. I think both receivers are – I don't think they're out. I know Tank Dell's out for the year. Not sure about Nico Collins, like a hamstring or something.
He's injured,
but anyway, yeah, just injuries and yeah. So they're Sparta kicked out. The Colts, they lost because they're playing with house money. They shouldn't have even been this close to the playoffs. They're still right there, but I don't expect them to stay in this top 10. They may get back on the bubble or something. Packers, I didn't want to kick the Packers off, but again, they lost. They lost to DeVito and the Giants. So it's like Packers. I mean, you took that L.
Yep.
And I don't think that you again, are maintaining with these other teams. Maybe you can make it back to the bubble as well too. So, but it just not every team can make the top 10, so they had to get thrown off.
Absolutely. And Israel. The 49ers lost after 3 in a row after they played the Cowboys. That's, earlier in the season, week 5, bro. That's like, and especially now with the NFL and how they do the preseason. I mean, the first 4 weeks of the season is basically a glorified preseason because they don't play anyways. And Money Train, yeah. Just when you expected the Lions to get freaking kicked off, because I've been waiting to kick them off, dog. I've been waiting to kick them off, dog. Come on. You almost lost against the Bears at home, and then you take an L on Thanksgiving and an L against the Bears the next week, and a bad L. It wasn't a close game, dude. It wasn't a close game. It was a bad L. That's why the Packers get kicked off on my list because of Tommy DeVito just having some sauce on you. We got to get that. Yo, I want to be back in New York in a couple months. I might have to get DeVito, bro. I'm going to go get myself a DeVito. I'll post it on the
sandwich.
the Still Nation Sports Network account. I'll have to send it to you.
Let me have to happen. But with the Lions, just real quick, the Lions, I still have them up there because, like, I can't – there's not too many good NFC teams. So that's why the Lions are still up there for me. It's hard to put them – I don't know how Austin manages this, but it's hard to put them just totally out compared to the teams over there.
No, I do, because it's Jared Goff, man. Whenever
Oh man, this is the Still Nation Sports Network show. Austin will be back. eventually. Let's see what we're saying in the chat. I don't have control of the controls here. I'm sure he'll be back real soon. So as I was saying with the Lions, the extreme hate of Austin has
unreal.
somehow.
Unreal. I don't know why that happened. No, what I was saying is that when I see Jared Goff playing, this is what I look at him. How I look at him, like, are you gonna turn the ball over? Oh, are you gonna get us a play? I don't know. Whenever I see Jared Goff and I see him have a bad game, especially against the Bears at Soldier Field, I mean, this is what it is. Sorry, Money Train James. Sorry, Lions. Sorry, Texans. Sorry, Packers. And sorry, Colts, I think. Do it to him. That's Money James. Try to kick me off. There's no sound. Oh. That's what I get.
This is Sparta!
Please, Money Train. Kick me off. And that's me walking away. Peace out, Lions. Let me jump off this. Boom. How fast they on? All right, cool. I don't know what happened there. Some technical difficulties. As soon as I tried to add it to the show, it's like your mic is gone, and I try to unmute, and then it just popped me out of the studio.
Money James of the football guys.
Oh yeah,
because of all the hate.
Too much shit about so Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Jared Goff, and just compounded into one.
The Travis Kelce. I think that I was like, okay, Austin went too far right there. The football guys like we gotta balance this energy somehow.
That's where I get my hate out on this show, bro. I hate some of these guys, man. I just hate them. Anyways, shout out to Real Talk Beyond Replay crew. If you're working on the Pacers owner's private jet, man, tell them what's up, man. Tell them to watch the Sylnation Sports Network. I mean, if he likes the football coverage, we'll have some NBA coverage. And Pacers are looking good this season, you know. Lions literally getting thrown to the Lions. I like that, Necron. I like that. That is rough. But, hey, that's the way it goes, man. You've been playing down and playing bad in the times when you need to be playing good, man. Thanksgiving is the turning point. You lost on Thanksgiving versus the Packers. You lost next week against the Bears. And who are you going to play coming up? Well, you might wonder that, but you don't got to keep wondering. I got the schedule right here. They're playing at home versus the Broncos. Uh-oh. 8:15, you say? That's a Saturday. So we might have to do a Saturday countdown this week. We got three Saturday games. The last one, the primetime one, I suppose, is Lions versus the Broncos in Detroit. And a quick little preview of all of these games. I think the Broncos might go in and steal it. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna get Lions a win on that one.
Okay. Bounce back win.
Mm-hmm.
Bounce back win. And then Broncos, so the Broncos, that's at home. Then they go away for 2 games. They're away against the Vikings, which is a division matchup, and then they're away versus the Cowboys. Now, we don't know what the Vikings are going to look like. They just benched Joshua Dobbs. So it's a question mark right now.
It's a question mark.
But versus the Cowboys, I think that's an L probably.
So, yeah, the Vikings, I'm going to get the Lions a win with the Vikings. Cowboys is a better team right now, so the Cowboys should win it. That should be an L for the Lions.
Money Train thinks they're going to choke versus them. I don't see that happening, bro. The Cowboys haven't choked all season, to be honest, unless you want to say against the 49ers game, but that's not the same Cowboys team that you're going to be facing. You're going to be in Jerry World for that one in Week 17, so you're saying Lions 4-0 to end the season. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know about that. But then home against the Vikings again, they might have 2 certified W's on this list. This depends on what that backup is going to be for the Vikings. I mean, they got Justin Jefferson back. They got the defense still over there. They got TJ Hawkinson. They got Addison. So Vikings have the people, but it's just, are you going to have the quarterback? And Joshua Dobbs, like I said, it might have been a flash in the pan for Joshua Dobbs, unfortunately. But what do you think the Vikings can pull out maybe an upset in one of these games?
I'm thinking like, the division hasn't been, kind to the Lions lately, right? So it's like, sometimes when you make this quarterback change, you got the rest of the team there and good coaching. The Vikings are going to get one of these wins. And now that I look at it,
That's fair.
So yeah, and plus on top of that, I can't see the Lions winning 12 games. Like that just don't even look right. The Lions win 12, like 11. Okay, I'll give you 11.
All right.
You can't get 12 wins out here, bro. So they gotta lose 2 of these games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think they're gonna lose versus the Broncos, dude. I honestly do. Just especially the way that the Broncos are playing right now and the way that the Lions are playing right now. I think I'm giving the Broncos more of an edge. And then we got to look at the Packers. Their main source of contention. The Packers, I think, have a tougher schedule. Now, I'm going to tell you why. Buccaneers are fighting for the playoffs, okay? That's not going to be an easy win no matter where you shake it. You might think the Buccaneers are bad. Some people might have some certain thoughts on the Buccaneers. Guess what? They're leading their division, and they've been playing the games that they've lost. They haven't been blowouts. So
Packers just lost. Like Packers are vulnerable right now.
The Giants. They lost to the Giants. So I'm gonna say Buccaneers. You can catch them tripping at home. I'm gonna say Buccaneers get the W. I'm gonna pick against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers hat on. Come on now. What do you think is gonna happen this weekend though? That's a Sunday game, 1:00 versus the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Quick thoughts on that?
That's a big game. I mean, at home though, I think they probably will likely pull that one now.
It is a home win, yeah. And it's cold weather game too for the Buccaneers, so everything's facing against them. But I like that. I like when the odds are stacked against a team, especially this team led by Baker Mayfield. So he's going to drag this team to the playoffs. I love that. And then the Panthers, they're away versus the Panthers. I mean, that's a W. That's a W.
Let's stay on code, right? Panthers don't lose.
Yeah,
Packers for the win.
And then week 17 versus the Vikings are away in Minnesota. Again, we don't know how it's going to look, but we probably say it's a W, right? Probably say it's a W, though.
Well, okay, so I'm wild carding these last 2 games, Vikings and Bears. One of the division rivals will get a win over them. Okay. So I'm looking at the Packers getting 2 more losses for this year. I'm looking at, I think they're a 9-18 and hoping they sneak into the playoffs. That's what they're hoping. So yeah, either the Vikings or Bears is going to catch them slipping.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if any team is, it's going to be the Bears. I mean, just because of how the Bears are playing.
They're still playing.
Yeah, dude. I think I don't know if Justin Fields wants to stay there, but I mean, hey, it might not be a bad idea to keep Justin Fields and maybe retool that offense a little bit. But yeah, the Bears are looking like they're gonna be the one to steal one, if anything. I will say though, at home against the Bears, you would say, hey, it's going to be tough because it's Lambeau Field, but the Bears are just as used to the cold weather as the Packers are. So that's going to be a good game regardless to end the season with.
And these ain't like the old Packers now. Like no one's afraid of Lambeau Field anymore. So I like the Bears' chances in that game.
It's going to be a good game to watch. But so what do we say? They go like 10-7?
I think I got them at 9-8. I think they're going to find a way to lose 2 of these games. I don't. It could be your Bucks will catch them slipping, and then one of their rivals will get them, Vikings or Bears. Yeah, or probably both, because the Vikings is that great unknown, right? It's really interesting to see how they're going to look with a new quarterback. So yeah, and like I said, I really believe the Bears will get them. So yeah, I mean, at best, we'll say 10-7, but I'm leaning towards 9-8.
9-8. And at best, 10-7 still not going to be able to beat those Lions. We see them, so the Lions probably, as of right now, if we see any change from the Vikings, and maybe they can dice up the NFC North a little bit. But it'll be a hard-fought way for the Packers to get to the top of the NFC North. But even so, if you're 9-8, you might be able to compete. I will say though, with the NFC East being as big as as good as it is with the Cowboys and the Eagles. Either one of them not being, winning their division, it still puts the first team on the wild card spot is like no one's gonna reach that. Like I think they're 10-3 right now, 10-4. So I don't think that you're fighting for 6 and 7. All of these other on the fringe playoff spots. I don't think you're going to be able to beat the Eagles or the Cowboys record-wise if either of them doesn't win the division.
Yeah. I think everyone has at least 6 losses under them.
Yeah, right. So there's no way you're catching them, unfortunately. But those are the power rankings, man. We finally got the show in. And before we get out of here, I know I played the ending music, but I do have – this is going to be a quick little look in, look out. Tonight is the Chargers versus the Raiders. Nobody cares about this game. The Raiders are actually favored somehow. That's how bad the Chargers are.
I forgot they were playing. That's how bad it is.
There's a game tonight. We all forgot, dude. There's a game tonight, bro. I know. That's why I had to bring it up. But just a quick look in, look out. Like I said, the Chargers, they don't have their quarterback. They have a backup quarterback, which we don't know how he's going to look yet. We'll see. With the Raiders, they're playing for their interim coach's head coaching position, I would say, tonight, especially on prime time. So I'm going to give Raiders the win at home versus a struggling Chargers team that's going to get the whole coaching staff fired probably.
Yeah. Home win for the Raiders. I mean, though they just lost to the Vikings 3-0, which is just terrible.
Terrible.
It does show that Raiders defense is still, scrappy as ever. Right. So then they're going to play, for the home crowd. The Chargers, I mean, it just, and now as far as with the Raiders too, again, quarterback, like we gotta take a look at someone else here. This cannot be the guy, Aiden O'Connell. Now, who knows though? These Thursday games, man. Who knows? Like
that's fair.
We thought the what was it? The Patriots and Steelers. We thought these games these would be terrible games. And it just ends up being like explosive. You never know.
20-something in the third quarter. You're like, what?
It's still Thursday football, so I'm gonna at least see how it starts. And but if I get shades of 3-0 again, then I'm out.
Shades of 3-0, dude, is hilarious. Like, oh man, not the past coming back to haunt us. But yes, I do want to say this. Okay, whenever we are in the off season, we're in June, we're in August, July, and we're fiending for something. We need some high-flying sports action. NBA's over. I'm probably the only one watching NASCAR at that point. We're gonna be missing these Thursday night games. Remember, just in the middle of a week, we had something to watch. So don't like discount this. It is an NFL football game. It only comes once a year. So yes, turn it on, see how it plays, and maybe check back in every once in a while throughout the night. But yes, there's only a couple more weeks of football left. In 7 weeks, there will only be 2 teams left this season in just 7 weeks. So enjoy it while you got it. Some of your teams, mainly these 2 teams playing tonight, will not be in the playoffs. So enjoy it while you got it. But anything you want to promo before we get out of here, bro?
No, just definitely, like I said, the sports stuff. I was about to say that Thursday show, but this is Thursday. Because I just forgot about this game.
I turned you all around. My bad.
But definitely watch football for sure. But like I said, looking forward to ramping up NBA coverage. We're getting around that time of the year. I'm working on different ways of kind of either doing like some quick live streams on the Sports Network channel. We'll kind of see. Still working with the formatting, just how I want to kind of approach it. So so just stay tuned on that. Of course, the geek stuff. We're doing what we're doing there. Check out the latest videos with all the Netflix stuff, Rebel Moon month. So exciting stuff overall. And we'll be back Saturday. You said for
Saturday. Yes, sir. Saturday countdown, dude. The good countdown on a Saturday, and a quick preview as to what games we got to go over. It's going to be Vikings, Bengals, Steelers, Colts, and Broncos, Lions, just like how we had said earlier. So, yeah, quick little 3-game countdown, but we get to go a little more in depth when we got 3 games. We get to go a little bit more into those teams, and I'm going to take a deep, in-depth look into the Vikings backup quarterback and Jake Browning, man. And who knows if the Steelers can get a comeback win against the Colts and what's going to happen versus the Broncos and Lions. We got a good Saturday coming up. Hopefully a good game tonight too. So, yes, a Saturday stream too. You're damn right. And don't forget, I will be doing the free agent frenzy for our fantasy football. If you made it into the playoffs, Money Train James, I'm sorry you didn't make it into the playoffs, bro. If you did make it into playoffs, though, we will be dissolving the last 6 teams who are in the consolation ladder. There is no consolation for losing, so we're going to dissolve your teams, and all of those teams' players will be available for free agency. I might wait until after this first weekend. I might not, because I'm playing this weekend. So I think tomorrow I'm going to have more time to look at that. I'll look at it tonight too to figure out how I'm going to be able to do it. But obviously, any of the players playing for the Chargers or the Raiders tonight, unfortunately, we won't be able to get them. That's just how it goes. I don't think it's fair to do it right away and to not announce it. But tomorrow will be the free agent frenzy. So be on the lookout for that. I think I'm going to go live and do it and have everybody kind of have the same opportunity. But I just want everyone who's here, you're watching this now or on the replay, around afternoon sometime tomorrow around 4 p.m., 3 p.m., that's when I'm going to do the free agent frenzy, and you're going to be able to bolster up your team a little bit if you're in the playoffs. So you're definitely going to be a part of that. I'll announce it in our chat. I'll announce it in the ESPN Fantasy app. But it's going to be a big day, man, because playoffs are here for the fantasy, dude. It's now. The time is now, and I can't wait to go over that. But, yes, we'll obviously be back here Saturday, and we'll be back here on Sunday. So everybody have a good night. Enjoy the Thursday night football, because we only have it for so long, dude. Only a couple more weeks, and Thursday night football is gone. So enjoy it while we got it. Might be a shit game, but let's pray for a higher score than 3-0. All right, everybody? So until next time, we'll see you on Saturday. Peace.